And with that recap, now let's welcome in award-winning sports columnist and author Woody Woodburn, who still has a weekly column in the Ventura County Star. Had another one today. He just wrote a book, though, on his 2-decade-long friendship with John Wooden, titled Wooden and Me. Now, let me give the subtitle. Life Lessons, my 2-decade friendship with a legendary coach and humanitarian to help make each day your masterpiece.
Segment over.
Well, you know, having met the coach, he still said that, and every time he would say that, make each day your man, it sounded like it was the first time he said it. I mean, did you have that feeling, knowing him as long as you did, those little Woodenisms stuck with you as if he was just saying them for the first time?
The Woodenisms, exactly. Make your day your masterpiece is one of the best ones because I think it encapsulates all of his other ones. But getting to know him for 23 years, what was neat was that his sayings taught you lessons, but in real life he taught you these lessons. Like one time I was visiting him and his phone rings. And he keeps talking to me and the phone rings and the message machine picks up. And it's a familiar voice to me. It's Bill Walton. I go, Coach, you have to pick that up. And he goes, heavens no. If I pick that up, Bill will talk my ear off for 30 minutes and we won't get to visit at all. I'll call him back later. And it's a funny story, but also it's a lesson because when you're with somebody, you should give them your utmost attention. And so he did me a favor, and he also did Bill a favor because then when he called Bill back later, he could give Bill his full attention and not have to try to get off the phone.
I love how you get the vibe that he's just a very accessible guy, very caring guy. And you were telling me a little bit how you two became friends when you sent him one of your columns.
Yes, that was 1987. I was a young sports writer. He was retired for 12 years then, and he was a keynote speaker in San Luis Obispo. And afterwards I went up to interview him, and he has a 3-hour drive in front of him, yet he still gave me 30 minutes, one-on-one interview. I sent him a column. A week later, he sends me a thank you note and invites me to join him on his walk. So, of course, I called him that night. 2 days later, I was on his doorstep punctually at 7 o'clock. You don't be late for Coach. And that's kind of where our friendship began. And I remember at the end of that walk, one of the neat things was, as he got back to his house, he got a newspaper on the news rack. And most people fold a newspaper in half or maybe thirds. He quickly and smoothly, and I think unconsciously, just rolled it up into a tight baton, just like he used to do a game program. And that was just like so cool to see.
Those are great anecdotes that I'm sure are sprinkled throughout the book. He was a great author who had many great books that I'm sure inspired you. How do you break it down when you went to decide to write this book? How do you set it up?
It's a little bit chronologically, and a lot of the chronology is because of my kids who he befriended and was real role models to both of them. And just my visits, a couple walks I had with him, and I would go and visit him at his house, and letters and phone calls. Like, he was always make a friendship a fine art. So when my mom passed away about 5 years after Nell had died, he sent me this nice note, but he didn't stop at that. He'd never met my dad, but he wrote my dad this long letter and put in some poems and some things that had helped him get over his loss of Nell. So like he reached out not just to a friend, but a friend's friend, and my dad still carries that letter in his briefcase to this day.
Wow.
Amazing stuff. Where can I get the book, Woody?
WoodyWoodburn.com, and you can get it online right there. That's the best place to get it right now.
We will definitely do that.
We look forward to your columns, too, in the Ventura Star.
Thanks so much.
Time for our